Call of Duty. We all love it. We all hate it. We mostly hate it. At least other people do. I look at Call of Duty more as a child you haven't seen in a long time. And secretly is like having a minimum wage mid job. You know, you love it, you cherish it, but you're at arm's distance because it's not exactly making bank as much as you thought it would when your kid was making little stick drawings and you called him an artist, him or her. You called him or her a little artist, and you hung their art on the fridge. But they turned out to be a minimum wage worker. They're barely making rent, and they just aren't failing at life completely. But every time you look at them, you just wonder, how could I have helped? That's what Call of Duty is, and we're going to be talking about that because I don't talk about Call of Duty nearly as much as I should on this channel. As because I love Call of Duty. Obviously, I'm playing Cold War right now, which I'm gonna be honest. People are gonna hate my when we get to Cold War, but today we're gonna be talking about World at War. Why I hold World at War to such a high degree. What makes World at War the best zombies? Well, first off, it's the first ever zombies, so it's not. It's like you can't really hate the first ever zombies. You can love the first ever zombies, but you can't say it's the worst because that's not exactly being fair to World at War. But I hear a lot of people saying it is the worst, and I'm sitting there like, how? I get it has no content, but you can't really blame it. It's not like they can go back in time and switch everything. That'd be cool though. Like imagine Nocturne and Toten having nearly the amount of content as a transit. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're going to be breaking down every map and how I feel about them. Starting off with World at War. I mean, Nocturne Toten. Nocturne Toten always struck fear in my bones, in my little child bones. I don't remember when this game came out and how old I was, but I remember absolutely being terrified. I thought I was alone, but apparently I see a lot of people talking about how nerve-wracking and terrifying each map made them feel. Even the menu screen used to scare me as a kid. Just the weird, the creepy, almost enchanting choir-like orchestra playing in the background as like flashes of the campaign flash on screen. Ugh! Fucking creepy, dude. Now, obviously, I am a little bit of a hypocrite when I say this. Honestly, one of the best maps are the ones that are more grounded. Which I understand a lot of people might call me a hypocrite because I love Cold War and I hold Cold War to a very, very high standard and high degree because, well, it's my most recent Call of Duty I bought. Um, and yeah. So, with that being said, Nocturne Toten. First off, the game is very slow. If you are a modern day zombies fan going back and playing this, first off, how? Because I want to get my hands on the older Call of Duties, but unfortunately, PlayStation is a bitch when it comes to buying older games on their consoles. Because Xbox 360 and Xbox One and whatever allow you to constantly buy Black Ops and all of that because they know the high market with those. But yeah, But if you go back and play, I can see people not liking it as much, but not calling it the worst map. Because at least Nocturne and Toten, you can get high rounds with. It's not impossible to get high rounds. It's actually probably one of the easier maps. It's just the sheer amount of zombies that spawn that always can trip you up. What made Nocturne and Toten creepy to me? Well, first off, the opening to Nocturne and Toten with the zombie running at you, like, uncannily, is creepy. Like, if you beat the campaign, which is the only way to unlock this mode. Yeah, it's already starting off pretty creepy. But the gray tones and the weird background noise that you can hear, like, I recently found out that you can actually hear a dog barking in the background. Oh my god. I hate when you discover, like, secret sounds. You know what I mean? Like, you discover secret sounds in your Call of Duty experience. Unfortunately, we don't get that anymore, which is unfortunate because I always loved the creepiness of each map, but I get it, they have to evolve. There's also the fact that it's Nazis that add a factor of scariness into it, because it's like the way that they march to you and just everything about it being Nazis specifically that are chasing you that just make it even more horrific. Especially when you figure out, especially when you know what happened and what Nazis did to the Jews all the way back in the day. It's just horrific. Every map had a story to tell with Call of Duty, and it was so eerie. Speaking of eeriness, Verrückt. Verrückt is my second favorite all-time zombies map. And I know I'm going to get flamed for that, because a lot of people don't like this map. And I can understand why. This map is so difficult. It is so annoying. But brother, when I tell you this map is so horrific, dude. Most of this video might be me harping on how creepy Verrückt was. First off, you could hear the screams of past patients. Horrific enough, right? That's already awful. But then you hear babies screaming and crying. Okay, awful. Then you turn on the power and you hear the fucking circus music. I don't see anybody talking about this enough, about how horrific it is to hear the circus music. But let me just paint you a picture. You're captured, tied up to a dentist chair, right? And you're getting slow tortured by the German man who is smiling as he is drilling and cutting. Drilling and cutting. And you scream for help. But no one comes. And as if that's not bad enough, they play circus music to not only drown you out, but to mock you. They are mocking you with the circus music. And they are smiling and taking pleasure in your pain, in your torture. And that is every time I play Verrückt. Sometimes I do try to go back and play Verrückt. You know, my friend has every Call of Duty. Well, not every Call of Duty. But he has the older Call of Duties on his Xbox. I try to play them as much as I can when I'm over there. Sorry, friend. But every time I play it, it's just dreadful. Like, I genuinely get uncomfortable every time I play it. And yeah, call me a pansy all you want, being 21, and still get, like, uncomfortable playing the map. Like, sue me, right? Sue me. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't like hearing people getting screamed and tortured. I'm so sorry. Now let's talk about the gameplay. I love the idea that they take away the teammate aspect of everything. It is so unique, and I unfortunately don't see other maps doing this. And I'm just sitting there like, why? It was so scary not being able to rely on your friends. It was so creepy. I don't know why they didn't do any more maps where they separate you. That's unfortunate. But I guess it also adds to the charm of Verrückt. A lot of people did not like the aspect of, being separated from their friends. But I did, because it added a level of challenge to the game. And then the Verrückt sprinters. Oh my god! When I first saw the Verrückt sprinter, bro, I hate stuff that moves fast when it's not supposed to. Humans running is scary enough, but it's not scary to the point where I genuinely think I could get nightmares from it. Because, humans are known to run. But when it comes to undead zombies, that's when you should probably shit yourself. Because, bro, when I tell you, when you see how they run, it's not even the fact that they're fast. It's the fact that they run so human-like. It's so fucking scary. I'm literally getting choked up thinking about it. Because it's just like, I can imagine myself being in this situation, being in a situation where it's like, I have to run for my life, but I also have to kill this thing, because eventually it's going to be a threat later on. And bro, it is just so fucking horrific, dude. Dude, I'm sorry, I'm saying dude a lot. But reminiscing about these older maps and going back to like my kid self is just spine chilling, dude. I remember being in my brother's basement playing this and being fucking too scared to play it, to the point where I literally had to play with them in order to feel secure. But even then I was scared enough to like be like, nope, I'm not playing this until my brothers come on. But I still tried to, and they got mad at me for that, because obviously, gamers, they're very protective of their devices, and I was a stupid kid. So yeah, I can understand, brothers. I'm sorry for being a shithead brother. But anyway, yeah, that's my segment on Verrückt, one of the best maps ever. Now on to Shi No Numa. Did I say Shi No Numa? Is it no? Shangri-La's the jungle one, right? Or the China they're both Chinese. Fucking what is it? No, the other one's a swamp. No, okay, Shangri-La is the jungle one. Shi No Numa is the swamp. Okay. Okay, Shi No Numa. I don't have much experience, at least not as much experience on this map as I do the other three, but I still have a lot of extensive experiences. What I liked about this map is, again, the atmosphere. I like the density of the swamp, because I genuinely feel like swamps should be dense. And that's what this felt like. it felt like a chokehold on you. Yeah, sure, this is like one of the easiest maps ever because like it has a 25 zombie cap, which like uh the one the it's the I always called it the Wonder Waffle because my cousin called it the Wonder Waffle, so I'm gonna call it the Wonder Waffle. Uh, you can get mad at me in the comments. I don't really care, but um, I think also my brothers called it the Wonder Waffle. But anyway, the Wonder Waffle kills them, kills the entire round in one swing. One shot kills the entire round. And so late game is not hard. In fact, many of people have completed, well, quote unquote, completed Call of Duty or Shinonuma. Sorry, my throat's getting a little bit dry talking this long, but Shinonuma is just it's creepy. Again, it's creepy. You can see what's his name, John Banana. I think that was his name, John Banana, who got hung. You could see him hanging. That always creeped me out as a child. And then also the zombies, the zombies got better and better over time, dude. Nothing compared to Verrückt. I honestly think that's why people shit on this map so much is because we're coming back from the high of Verrückt. Verrückt was just that creepy and that awesome of a map that people were like, okay, what's the next map? Is it going to be you go into some pedophile's sex dungeon? No. You just go to a Japanese research camp. Which, like, that's fine. It's not the creepiest, but in certain lighting and stuff, it can definitely be seen as creepy. But anyway, enough harping on it. The gameplay. I loved the idea of randomizing perks and not suspecting what comes next. Because genuinely, when it comes to video games, you tend to do the same thing over and over again. You tend to do the same thing over and over again. And with the strategy, that's my main complaint with, like, Fortnite and why I liked Blitz Royale so much. Like, when games switch up how you play, I love that. And that's what Call of Duty did. Well, obviously, there was still a little bit of strategy to it. Like, oh, if we got quick revive early on, we just don't buy it until we get Jug so we don't have to spend as much money on Jug. But still, it was a fun, mix-up, man. And I genuinely liked it. This is the first map that introduced dogs. Dogs were always one of my favorite parts of Call of Duty because they were kind of creepy. I mean, a lot of things were creepy when I was like, 5, 6? But you know what I'm trying to say. The zombie dogs and not, like, when... Sorry about that. My thing stopped recording. But as I was saying, when the zombie dogs get quiet, that's when you should be most terrified. Because that means that they can be coming from any angle. And that's one of the most horrific things. Because it's like, Shinonuma, although the most open map in World at War, I think, still has a weird chokehold on you. And the atmosphere. Oh, are we going to talk about the atmosphere? The fact that you can, like, see maggots eating... Fucking... Ew. Ew. I hate maggots. Maggots are one of my worst fears. Like, it's ironic, because every other bug I'm fine with. Spiders, crawl on me all you want. Do whatever you want. But maggots, I will actively seek them out and nuke their entire existence. What do you mean that you spawn from flies, which is the most common bug ever? And then you come out creepily, and then, worst of all, you're carnivores. They eat human. Like, sorry, this is not a maggot rant. This is a This is a zombies video. As I was saying, the fact that you can see like bloody sheets with maggots all over them is just ugh. Ay ay ay. Ew. Disgusting. But ignoring that, the dilapidated and creepy, like, makeshift look of Shi No Numa is something that should be studied, bro. Like, this map. Hold on. Sorry, I keep stopping, but yeah, the creepy and dilapidated look of the makeshift huts is definitely an addition. But then you can also hear like whispers and chants. You could even in like the far back area of in the far back areas of uh Shi No Numa, sorry, my mind's blanking. You can hear like kids doing a German chant, and then we gotta talk about it. The meteor, yes, the meteor, bro. When I tell you, seeing that meteor, feel the fire in my heart, dude. The fire in my loins. It was so cool seeing that because I love the story of Call of Duty. That's what draws me in so heavily when it comes to Call of Duty is the story. And speaking of story, that's right. My personal favorite map, Der Riese. I know, hot take. It's my absolute favorite map. Oh, buddy, here we go. Do I have a lot to say about this map? First off, I like that it combines the creepiness, but also the futuristic aspect of Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like, it is so refreshing seeing a map that can be creepy, but also futuristic and tell us the story about everything. You know, you're here to be able to teleport. I believe it's to. I don't remember the map that they were trying to teleport to. I think it was Kino that they were trying to teleport to from Der Riese. But, yeah, just an amazing map, dude. The colors in the map, it was a lot of gray, but the gray tone of the map makes the glowiness of it pop so much more. You see the portal glow, and it's just so pretty. I love when stuff does that, where the shininess and the colorful lights get shown over the white lights. That's why I personally like black lights over any other light, because it makes your room dark while also having the stuff that you usually miss glow. And I love it. I just love black lights, dude. And this map feels like a massive black light because the colored lights, dude, I'm not even joking. They're so vibrant while also keeping that old atmosphere that we loved about the previous maps. The gray tone, the grittiness of the maps, all so amazing. And then it also allows it to be beautiful with like the brain, with like the brains in the tubes, the glowy green. Just so pretty, dude. And then the gameplay. our first ever time being able to pack a punch. You know, like pack a punch has become such a staple in the zombies community to the point where it's in every map. I think even the remake of World at War, even the remake of World at War has a yeah, the remake of World at War even has a I mean the fucking remake of Nocturne and Toten, they went back and added a pack punch machine. It's that crazy. And just bro, this map, dude, just the map's my favorite, man. The box locations, there's so many locations that you can train and just like have a final stand with your friends. And I love that it was basically a bridge between maps. Right? It's important to the lore. Yeah, it was important to the lore. Not only that, but it was also like it was a perfect bridge between what zombies would become, which is like the more futuristic type of game where like you're going to lab areas and eventually going to the moon. So Der Riese was a perfect transition between these games. Because if we didn't transition with Der Riese, the other maps would probably feel like a jar. Like it'd be jarring to go from a dilapidated swamp area to this massive government building and just insane, dude. Though I will say the transition was not perfect because we did have Keynote or Toten, but also I can forgive them because Keynote or Toten was supposed to be on Nocturne, or was supposed to be on World at War, which we will get into in the next video about BO1. But right now we're talking about World at War. So I can forgive the weird transition from a lab-like area to a theater. But yeah. I don't think I talked about the Easter eggs. There wasn't exactly a Easter egg in the grand scheme of things in the other maps. But like the fly trap map, or the fly trap Easter egg, and then you being able to turn on the portals and stuff, just amazing, dude. This was such a fun map. Every time I talk about zombies, I always bring up just how much I love Der Riese. Because Der Riese was just that map. He is the older son. He is the son you look at when you're proud of him. Zombies has unfortunately become that child that you look at and you love and you cherish forever. They seemed like they would have a good future. You know, you saw them draw you stick figures, and you'd say, "Hey, my kid is going to become an artist someday." Then he's working a minimum wage job at Wendy's, and is getting screamed at by a Karen that has alcohol stains on her jacket, and just, yeah. Zombies has become that child. Like, the earlier stages are like the infancy stage of your child and him growing up and drawing you the stick figures. And then I'd say, like, around BO4 is when you go back to see your child. And you see that they work at Wendy's. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I will not have much good things to say about later zombies. But I'm not going to say too much negative as much as other people. Because I do still have hope for zombies. I just kind of stopped playing after BO2. Just because, like, life hit me hard. And I was moving on to, like, liking Minecraft, and Minecraft was my hyperfixation. And so I didn't really have time for um, to invest money into Black Ops 2. So I didn't play it much. The only time I ever played it was actually at my brother Nick. Shout out to Nick. At his apartment, and I would just always play BO6 over there. Not BO6. Fucking, I wish, but I would always play BO2 over there. You know, only play Transit because that was the only map available to me at that time. But I'm gonna have a lot of good things to say about Transit, and a lot of people are gonna shit on me when we get to that. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Overall, World at War, I give a 9.5 out of 10 in terms of rating. I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but, like, in my opinion, nothing can really be a 10 out of 10 unless it's, like, life-changing. And World at War, although did change my life quite a bit. You know what? Fuck it. Give it a 10 out of 10. The maps were awesome. The creepiness factor, there's also the nostalgia factor. It's just so good that it deserves that spot. Because in my opinion, I honestly think that zombies should be creepy. Zombies have always been a horror thing, not just a survival of the fittest thing. Like, obviously that plays an aspect, but zombies has always been a horror-owned property, a horror genre. And I feel like we've lost that with Call of Duty. Obviously, some maps still have that horror factor, but not as much as World at War. And I wish that we can go back to... I hope that we can go back to the creepy days. Like, if there's one thing that I want Activision to listen to us on, it's bringing back the creepy factor. Bringing back the more hidden story, rather than throwing it in our face like Cold War, which, I know, blasphemy. I'm playing Cold War as I harp a little bit on Cold War. But, yeah, that's the end of my video. I'll see you guys, well, when I do another video, but obviously, if you're specifically here to watch this series, you're going to be more interested in these videos, so... I guess I'll see you whenever I decide to do BO1. Some maps, or some videos, will actually take me longer to talk about, because I will have to, reposition my mind on, like, what the maps are about, because, like, BO2 all the way to, BO4, and then BO6 and BO7... you know, I just have no knowledge of at all. So I'll have to, like, watch other people's review on those ones. But, like, I know most about zombies. Like, I can tell you about Origins and, like, Blood of the Dead and all of that. So this series won't be as in-depth as, like, a Tim Hansen or a Codename Pizza or any of those guys. It's just going to be, like, you know, reviewing each game. And only the zombies, by the way. I will never be doing multiplayer, because I'm going to be honest, I don't play Call of Duty for multiplayer. I play it for zombies, clearly, as you can see my prestige. But anyway, I've been rambling on for way too long. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.